and welcome to the Inglorious Bards. I'm your humble Game Master Tom. Glad to have you here. This is Adventure 3 of our Twitch live stream. We are excited to have you, and you can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on your favorite podcast, and here on Twitch TV /Inglorious Bards every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific. Let's start tonight with a recap of last session's adventure notes.
Okay, so in our last adventure, Adventure 2, we were starting the whole thing down in the mines. We were in a mine that's in the bottom of Tabonry, where we went to locate Tilbrin. We were also there to actually check in on Captain Venali, who is now just a guard Venali, as we were down there. Tilbrin recognized Brenros and asked him for help. Venali indicated that he was covered in magical chains and could not remove them. Sildren did his best to dispel the magic and could not dispel them either. So we went down to speak with the brother who had the chains going on. Brother Aaron, which is 2 levels down below us. We went down, found Brother Aaron, who lit up the room with several orbs because he does not like the darkness, nor surprises. And no amount of good conversation or banter or even lighthearted jest happened from Xander or anybody else that made it work. And then Jix tried to sneak around him, and that went terribly wrong. So there was a fight. It was a huge, huge battle with over 7 natural ones and a massive, brutal fight. We barely got away. But we were able to take Brother Aaron down and pretty much took everything that he had, including his hammer, his cloak, his belt, and carried out with us. Also, we found the key, and we were able to take the key up and free Tilbrin. Also, Morlack, because Xander's a helpful guy and wanted to make sure that he could free as many prisoners as he could. Morlack was the only other one that came with him, a huge guy who definitely decided to take care of Xander from that point. So when we get back up, everyone starts following us out, including Morlack, who came with everybody and tried to take Xander his own direction. Xander worked on defending himself and knocked him completely unconscious. Iggy then came up and cleaned up after Xander's mess again and kicked Morlack into the river, but did so not without escaping the sight of 2 brothers of the Renarian Brotherhood who saw Iggy and started to pursue him. He took off. While he was fleeing in one direction, the rest of the group was heading the other. Venali gave us a name of someone to contact, Namarel, as one who speaks about the Brotherhood and knows information. And then the rest of the party, minus Iggy, was crossing over the river, doing okay, getting past the brother, until he recognized that we were carrying Brother Aaron's gear, especially the hammer. Brother Olus came up and started interrogating Xander, who tried his best again to be wicked charming and completely did it and got away with lying his ass off to the brother and explained to him how he got it. But now the group is split, so let me see. Brenros was able to take Tilbrin out to the gates, completely convinced the guards why he was out to be free, took Tilbrin, who was a copy of Brenros at the time, with the disguise that he was wearing from Jix, and they were able to make it through, get Tilbrin home. But now Brenros is out there working on his way to get back in, where Idrisyl found a flower shop because he heard flowers with Namarel, and decided to go make a delivery, found out where Namarel's address was, grabbed the flowers, grabbed Xander, grabbed Sildren, and then the 3 of them started making a delivery to Namarel's house, which happened to be having a very fancy luncheon at the time.
And that's all the time we have for tonight.
Oh no, I got another 2 pages. Just kidding.
Keep going.
Idrisyl did his part to charm his way in. Didn't quite do the way that Xander does, and was not as convincing, charming, and or diplomatic as he would like to be. However, we did find a few things out that Namrel has a very, very favorite special level of wine. But Iggy managed to find himself hiding, and he was able to get into the bar, the Seahorse Tavern up near Old Low House. Found a Brotherhood spy who was looking in there and nat 20'd his conversation with him and completely made best friends. They drank the whole time, had an uproarious time, and then suddenly made friends. When they left the bar together, they managed to catch up with Jix. Going back to the group, Idrisyl, Sildren, and Xander found out that the name of the wine that she loves is called Zexon wine. And Xander has an amazing alcohol lore information, and he was able to find out exactly where Zexon wine could be located and led them right to that store. That's about where we are, so let the adventure begin!
Jix and Iggy walk arm in arm across a bridge with a Renarian agent. The man almost falls over, having been drinking most of the day with his new friend Iggy.
You don't look so good, buddy. You gonna make it?
Oh yeah, this is gonna be great. The three men walk into the main plaza of Tabonry, which is dominated by a huge temple of grand architecture and magical lights. The lights almost blind their eyes, even in the afternoon sun.
Where'd you meet this guy there, Igster?
Down at the Seahorse Tavern by the docks. We had a couple drinks together.
A couple, huh?
Well, I'm not so good at numbers.
Hey, let's go to the Temple of Light. I'll show you around. We'll do some hammer tossing in there. You'll meet some of the brothers. You'll love it.
That sounds great.
That sounds terrible.
You're not gonna come with us?
I said, that sounds terrible. Didn't say I wasn't coming with ya.
The trio approach the impressive temple, shielding their eyes from the light. The Renarian agent pushes open the huge double doors and waves for the dwarf and goblin to follow. Jix looks up at the impressive structure as he walks inside. Just an hour ago, the heroes barely survived a battle with one of the Brotherhood and were chased down the streets. And now, Jix and Iggy are walking right into the very temple of the people hunting them.
Yeah, this is a terrible idea.
Inside the temple is an array of stone pedestals carved almost out of the ground itself. These seats rise up a few feet and circle around a circular central platform. Several spheres of white and blue light slowly circle above, casting angular patterns across the floor. Iggy looks up at the lights and smiles in wonder. He stumbles down a step due to the dazzling lights and the booze in his belly. Their footsteps echo loudly, with the only other sound the humming of magical lights overhead.
Where is everybody? Lights are on, but no one's home.
They're out patrolling the town or upstairs resting. So let's put some books on this pedestal and stand way over there and see if we can knock them down with our hammers. You've got to throw true and strong is what we always say.
Okay, I'll stack some books. You find a spot where you want to toss. Hey, Jix, you joining us?
Jix pokes his head into an alcove looking for an easy bit of loot to snatch up.
Iggy, I think we should get going. Tossing hammers around here doesn't sound so good.
Iggy grabs an armful of books and struggles to keep them piled on top of one of the stone seats. The dwarf then stumbles over to his new friend, who has several throwing hammers gathered on the floor.
Okay, I got this. Just point me where I stack those books, okay? Stand back! Watch this one, Jixie.
Jix looks down a stairwell and checks out an open door. Iggy tosses one of the ceremonial hammers across the temple floor, landing nowhere near his target. It smashes into a different stone pedestal and clatters loudly. So close! I'm next! I
would have had it if the room would have stopped us tipping.
Jix slowly backs away from an open door as several brothers walk in with huge hammers in hand. From across the room, more brothers slowly enter, wielding their hammers and grim looks. The drunk Grenarian agent drops his hammer with a clank and looks at his fellow brothers. Oh, hey, sorry about all this. A dozen brothers push Jix towards Iggy and the guilty-looking agent. They form a circle around the trio as light emanates from their hammers.
Maybe you were right this time, Jix.
I hate it when I'm right.
A stern-looking priest joins the circle. At the sight of him, the guilty agent drops the other hammer in his hand and bows respectfully. Father Strel, I'm so sorry. I wasn't... Zap! With a wave of his hand, yellow light flies from the stern priest's wrists and twists around the agent's hands and feet. The light binds him tight before pulling him to the ground like a tied-up animal. The yellow light reflects in the eyes of the dozen brothers standing in the circle. I will deal with you later. Now, I will speak with these guests. So, dwarf, goblin, explain why you are defiling this glorious temple with your presence.
Our new friend here invited us to toss some hammers. You want to go?
And I reach my hand out and offer him a hammer.
Several of the guys raise their hammers like you're ready to do some sort of strike and get defensive. And the guy turns his head over towards you, Jix, waiting for some sort of response.
You know, when they said hammer tossing, this is not at all what I imagined. I told them it'd be safer to do it outside, but no, they wanted to come in the temple and do it. I told them so. Now come on, let's go, Easter. Sorry to cause you any trouble, sirs.
And Jix turns to walk away.
All right.
It's a good call, little buddy.
The circle tightens around as you guys start to move out. The older priest, Father Strel, continues. You come here and defile my temple, and you come in drunk or disgusting, pointing at Jix.
It's not disgusting.
I'm very not disgusting. I might be drunk sometimes, but I'm not disgusting.
You show disrespect to my place of worship. You show disrespect to me. I will not tolerate that. I do not tolerate those who break the law or who show disrespect.
We meant no disrespect. I'm very sorry.
I have not asked for your opinion. Zap! He throws out another hand. Make a fortitude save, Iggy.
An 18.
An 18. Your hands are bound on one hand, bound on the other, and then it's by like a yellow cord, like a Wonder Woman lasso, if you will, wrapped around your hand, and then the loose end goes down to the ground and latches onto the ground. Your feet are not bound at all, but your arms are held out in front of you, but they are attached to the ground, and you struggle and you can't move, and you're also not on the most clear-headed side as it is to begin with.
Well, this is a fun little game. You gonna take these off now? We'll get on our way.
And Zaffy throws another one at your face. Make another fortitude saving throw.
A 21.
All right. You are wrapped around the face. It doesn't completely cover, so you can get out a little bit of mumbling in the future if you so...
Excuse me, sir, brother. What do I call you?
He kneels down not too far away to get eye to eye with you, Jix. And the guards look nervous, but he kind of just waves them back. I know you. I know your kind. You suck at the teat of society. You drain our resources. You steal. You beg. You kill.
I'll have you know I'm quite an accomplished alchemist and a healer. And I can make you some delicious fish head stew sometime if you just want to come over for drinks or something.
You are the reason we are here. A vagabond, a disgusting goblin.
I'm a defender of the realm.
Crap! He's gonna make an attack roll. Where I can't roll a die fast enough. Where's my roll? A 21 to hit.
What do I do?
What's your armor class?
Do I get to dodge? It's
What's your
21.
Okay, yes, he hits you. He hits you for a massive 1 point of disrespectful damage and slaps you across your face, and it stings far more than it stings. I will let you know when you are free to speak to me, your superior. You need to learn a lesson, you wretched little creature.
What lesson is that?
Doesn't stop. He stands up and says, get this drunk dwarf out of my temple, and let's take this goblin below. He says to his men, not to you, Jix, to his men. And one of the men reaches down and grabs onto the electric lasso thing that's hanging off of Iggy's arms and pulls him off and starts pulling you towards the door. And two more of these guys grab onto you, Jix, and start pushing you towards the doorway stairwell that they just came out of.
Just hold on there, Iggy. I'll be back for you. Just hold on, Easter.
And they push you and down up some stairs you go into the darkest rooms in this temple of light. Meanwhile, we have a group of heroes who are at a alcohol merchant shop, an alcohol shop, and this shop does have a name. It's called Miss Roke's Spirits is the name of this place. It's got all manner of beverages and all sorts of things. There's a little mini bar counter there. There's a friendly guy who looks, again, more of a merchant guy and less of a bartender, and he sees you guys coming in. Maybe a little bell rings, and it doesn't have a big selection, but it looks nice. The stuff looks nice. And he says, welcome to, what the hell's my name? Welcome to Miss Roke's Spirits. Welcome, come in. What can I do for you? You looking for something bold, something for a nice lass? What are you interested in?
Yes, so we're here on very official business, and I am searching for a certain special type of wine. Maybe something that would be suitable for a wizard? Wizard wine?
Is this one all right? I feel like I'm missing something.
Xander's raising his eyebrows as high as he can.
I'm gonna need to see ID. I don't know if you're old enough, young gnome.
There's a very, very special type of wine for wizards.
Do you want some wine, young man?
Yes, but it's not particular. How do I say? Do you have a special supply that maybe we could talk about?
I've got something just for you.
Oh, perfect.
And he goes behind the counter. You hear him pouring something and then pouring something. And then he takes a bottle out and stops a little cork in it. And then he says, here you go, my little friend. This one is on the house. It's just for you. And he leans over to Sildren and says, it's just apple cider that's watered down.
I figured.
And what about you, sir? Pointing to Sildren. What can I do for you and your young ward?
We are looking for a very specific type of drink that has recently fallen out of favor since the Brotherhood has come to town.
Brotherhood is coming to town. Yeah.
I'm afraid I don't know what you mean. Could you be more specific?
Oh, for the love of...
A lot of beverages here.
Xander, you had something you wanted to contribute?
Xander leans in and starts describing the ingredients that might potentially be used in the Zexen wine process to really kind of give it a clue
All
that
right.
I know what I'm talking about. There's a particular thing and I just don't want to say it out loud.
Grapes.
So many grapes. You mash them, you squish them down, you press them, you leave them in a hole.
And Xander, you know this stuff inside and out. You've worked at a tavern for most of your life. So can you just tell me, Tom, the Game Master, I'm curious, what is the big defining ingredient of this beverage? What's the one that you're listing off a whole bunch? What's the key one that really gets his eyebrow to raise up?
There are so many different things that go into this entire process, but everyone knows that this particular type of alcohol comes from a lower region. It is off of a very, very distinct island that takes the ruby firestone, and puts it inside the mixing process. Remember, it's a very special, very, very finicky thing, because if you overheat it, of course, it will evaporate all the alcohol off, and you got to keep it at a certain temperature to make sure that it completely ferments in the proper way, a very Zexen way.
You are an interesting little gnome, aren't you? You know much but little at the same time.
Thank you.
I'm afraid I don't have that wine, and if I did, it may have recently been sold, so I don't know when I will get some in. It's very hard to come by.
Yes, it's very hard to come by. And you said that it might have been stolen? That would be the worst travesty of ever time.
No, I haven't had mine stolen. I had a couple people bidding for my last few bottles, but they were sold not too long ago, just a few days ago.
Oh, well, what a shame. Is it possible, do you think,
that I might have another recommendation for Zexen wine?
I'm just suggesting that it's so hard to come by these days, and it's worth a very, very fair price.
I've got some wine from up north that's kind of a rarity. What kind of occasion? Is this something for a party you're having, for a loved one, a gift? Tell me.
This is neither of those things. This is a very, very old debt that must be paid in a way that will bring unity to everyone involved.
I've got just the thing. He turns around, picks up a bottle, it's got some dust on it, and dusts it off and puts it down in front of you. And on the label, it says Old Debt on it.
That is almost exactly what I was looking for. Idrisyl! Old Debt!
Idrisyl's ears perk up pretendingly, and he reaches for the dusty bottle and just starts wiping it off, just with the scuff of his wrist to read the label.
All right. And he looks at you, Idrisyl, and says, sir, by the way, those cheeses are for paying customers only. You will have to pay for those. The wine is 12 silver. The cheese is 2 silver. There you are, my friends.
About 5 coppers.
Fair enough.
Because I've eaten some,
He's discovered blue cheese for the first time in his life. All right, someone pay up.
I'll pay for that. Where's my money?
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yes, good sir. You don't happen to have, I don't know, a record of sale? This is a very, very important thing to us, and I just want to see if there's maybe perhaps any other options of the Zexen origin.
I'm not quite sure what you mean.
I'm so sorry. I forgot. Let me get out my memory here for you, and he hands him a gold coin.
All right. He takes the gold coin, goes right to his POS, and goes, boop, 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 boop. No, he, this is very generous, sir. What exactly are you looking for? You want to be next on my list when I get some in? I
No.
could certainly reserve. Oh, okay.
I need the Zexen wine. You
That
said
is
it's been
already
sold.
sold.
Correct. Who bought it?
Make a diplomacy roll plus 3 for the gold.
While he's doing that, can I make a perception roll of some kind to see if there's a logbook on the desk
Ooh. Xander rolled a total of 5 or 15 with his +3, so I think this is a great time to use a hero point. Gonna roll that one
We were
again.
just talking about that.
Yo, 24.
24.
27 actually with your plus three, yeah.
27 with the +3.
7. So, Idrisyl, I don't think that'll be necessary.
Yeah. No
I
worries.
did get you. The seller, Misroke, he says, yes, I can tell you where it went. I don't particularly know the customer's name. I had a delivery to send out to a location. You're more than welcome to go there. I would prefer if you left me out of this exchange. I don't think my customers would be too keen on me sending other customers to them, but you're more than welcome. But the price is high. I sold them for 35 gold each, the 2 bottles that I had. So be prepared to spend a pretty penny more than that, I would imagine. I sent the bottles, or my courier delivered the bottles to a place up north near the river called the Low House.
I could have. It's a perfect. Okay.
Idrisyl's right foot kind of squeezes over to Sildren's and taps his left foot when he says low house.
And Sildren moves his left foot over to the right, away from. Yeah, Sildren nods. Because we need to know who moved in there.
Is there any other information? I could certainly do with some more gold.
You have been exceptionally helpful and knowledgeable. Thank you for your discretion and information.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Come back anytime.
Xander
And
turns to
leave.
walk out.
All right.
Tabonry's expensive.
Back inside the Temple of Light, up a floor in a darkened room of blackish bricks with 2 bright lights in the corner. Jix, you have been pulled in, and there are 4 of these brothers who have you tossed into this room, and one of them taunts you, and they have a totally different tone. They haven't been the most pleasant, but now they just have this dickish quality about them. They're in their lightly armored protection. They've got their hammers nearby, and they toss you into the room. And you hear that Iggy is also, he's yelling and cursing up a storm, still downstairs as they're trying to pull him out of this place. He's starting to curse. Maybe the bind around your mouth starts to slip off a bit, Iggy. So you're cursing out, but you're still getting pulled out. And right before you're tossed out as this drunk malfeasant, that's probably the worst word ever, the drunk dwarf, Iggy, the guys, you fall down and they kick you in the belly as you fall down, and get out of here, and you drop some stuff. You get up, you're still bound. They start kicking you out the door, and one of them has your axe in his hands and says, "We can't have the likes of you roaming the town with this, right?" And the other guys say, "Right." And they boot you out the door. Your right hand, the magical bind disappears. The door closes, and then the other bind disappears as you are on the ground trying to shake your head clear, having lost your axe and your goblin to the Renarian Brotherhood.
You shit-kicking, stinky, horse manure smelling motherfuckers, you. Give me back my Jix and give me back Blanche, or your hell's gonna come beat you up.
And you're just pounding like Fred Flintstone to get back into the door. Is that what's happening? All right. Upstairs, Jix, the guys that have you in there, one says, So what do you think's gonna happen now, you stupid shit?
I think four brethren are gonna get their asses kicked. That's what I think's gonna happen.
The door opens one more time, and in comes Father Strel. He speaks to you, looking at you with a bit of a smile. You see, we like to shine our light on the darkness in this world, and you are the epitome of that.
I do have dark vision.
You are so foul and so rude, and you and your kind just disgust me.
Hey, I took a bath just 2 months ago.
The guys grab hold of you. They don't do the magic binds, but they grab hold of your arm, one on each side, and grab hold of you so you don't try anything as the Father Strel is right there. Now, are you going to mind your manners like a good little creature that you claim to be? And if so, we will maybe let you leave. And maybe we won't kick you out of town.
Well, I did. What was your name again, brother?
So one of the guards next to you says, Father Strel.
Father Strel. My name is Jix. I'm Jix. The Jix. And, I'm part of, the defenders of, they used to be defenders of Veteran Home. And then I was kicking some little ghost dude shadow guy's ass, and I am the one who got him out of this town of Tabonry before you guys came here. And when that happened,
he motions, and one of the guys punches you on the face for 3 points of bludgeoning damage to try to shut you up.
Hey. Anyway, as I was saying, and so I ended up out in the ocean somewhere on top of the spire with a monkey guy, and like 2 months of that and eating seagull guts.
He stands up.
I was like,
he walks towards the door to leave.
Hey,
and he says
he
says to one of the other brothers there, let's leave him with the light of Renarin and send him on his way. Oh, actually, and before he goes out the door, he comes back in. Tell me, do you know anything of the wolves?
Wolves? I mean, I haven't seen too many out in the woods.
So you know of them? You have contacts with them? Tell me what you know.
Well, I mean, it's mostly their dung that I'm interested in for alchemical purposes. They make very good reagents.
That is not the wolves. I am talking. This is a waste of my time.
Now, wolf waste can be used for a lot of
different... Make an example of him, please. And he
an example
walks
of wolf
out
waste
the door.
Would be...
Jix, you see him go. The door closes. You're still in this room held by two guys. Another guy walks over to a small little bucket and pulls out a branding iron.
Is it hot?
It is not hot. He waves his hands and then it starts to glow, and it has red hot, and it has this symbol of a kind of an exploding half sun with a hammer next to it. And he lights it up, and the guards next to you rip open your shirt to expose your hairless goblin chest.
It's pimply.
They're aghast by the third nipple again, but they carry on. And he brings the brand close to you and says, "Let this be a lesson to you and any of the foul thieves and beggars who come through Tabonry that the Renarian Brotherhood owns this town." And he approaches you with this sizzling hot brand.
No, I mean, you guys, what's this about? I'm really, I don't think, are you really, am I really a spokesperson for the Brethren? Do you want your name on my little chest?
It gets closer and closer, and
No,
Sildren and Xander and Idrisyl. What do you guys want to do?
How far away are we from the plaza where the temple is?
Let's see. You're about maybe 10, 15 minutes away.
Okay. during their confrontation, can we have walked in that direction? Is that in the same direction we need to go, or is that south of where we're?
It's not the correct direction. It's the opposite direction.
Okay. I'll follow Xander's lead. Where we're Xander.
Okay.
So.
Well, we should, before heading back to the low house, we should collect the rest of our group.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, but Iggy was kind of drunk and stuff. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. You're
If
right.
you remember the low house from before, it would be good if we went as our full strength.
It can't possibly have improved that situation. So yeah, I think Soldrin's right. Do we go to the Seahorse Tavern? Is that where they were?
That's where he came from, but we met him in the crossing towards the other way.
Let's see. Hold on. No, actually, you guys don't know that. I think he ran from you then.
Oh no, I passed him on the way to
Idrisyl
the.
saw
Right, 'cause
us
he
go
picked up
into the
chicks.
temple.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Idrisyl is going to tell them about what he saw. Bullets with them suspiciously walking with a guard and drunk and shit. So yeah, we should go back towards where I last saw Iggy.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
And that's where your inn is at. The Fall Feather Inn is located off of the plaza. And it's going to be dark in, you think, about less than an hour. And there is a curfew with darkness here in Tabonry these days. So just something to be aware of. Okay, you guys head there. Sir Brenros, you are outside of Tabonry, pacing back and forth, trying to figure out a way to manipulate the guards, how to fast talk, sweet talk, threaten, and then you're come up with different things like, oh, this isn't my forte. And then the guard who lets you out just waves at you, motions you over, and says, hey, yeah, come on in. You can skip past all these people. And you just walk right in without any fuss. You're inside.
Blessings of Soli. Well, I imagine I can't just spot where everyone is, so I am going to make my way towards Peg's place,
Okay. Headed towards Peg's Tavern.
and I'm keeping an eye out to see if I find anyone around.
Okay. All right. A little bit of time passes. The sun is starting to set. And Iggy, you have been pounding on doors. You've been pounding on windows. You've got like some sort of backup weapon maybe they didn't see. Do you have a backup weapon?
Of a dagger.
Okay. So maybe you can start causing some trouble with that.
Yeah, I'm just beating on the front door, just like,
Fuck your law! Fuck your light! You motherfuckers!
just cursing incessantly and pounding and kicking and just making a ruckus.
All right. You have the door finally open. You step back surprised because you've been banging on it for a while. And there are several of the Brotherhood there. They're ready to start lashing out, but they don't. As a third brother tosses a beaten for 15 points of bludgeoning and burning damage, Jix out the front door, who collapses into your arms, and the two of you drop to your knees as Jix just kind of hangs there. He looks to be beaten, and you see he's got a big welt on his chest of some strange symbol burned into him. The guard.
Jixie,
Go ahead.
what'd they do to you?
Hey there, Iggs. I'm okay. I'll just
Don't
rub
look so
some wolf tongue on it. It'll be fine.
They slam the door.
I'm so sorry. This is
no.
all my fault.
No, ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
It's all my fault, though.
No.
You wouldn't have been there without me.
Hey,
I got drunk and stupid.
no.
Let's. The inn's right over there. You need some rest.
Yeah, I could
I'll
use a
find you
nap.
some wolf dung.
Yeah, and some
Nice.
wolf dung. We
I
had a good
put- I-
conversation about wolf dung.
Pick him up in my arms and take him to the inn.
All right, you head to the inn where you see your three other friends. Idrisyl, Xander, and Sildren are right around the inn looking for you guys. And you three see Jix is being carried by Iggy towards the inn.
What's happened?
we went into the tower and
What?
caused the scene, and they kicked me out and tortured little buddy here.
No, they didn't torture me. They just tried. They tried.
You look like you got burned. I know
Smell
burn.
like a marshmallow.
It smells a little like chicken, right?
Really?
Well, let's get you up to a room and see what we can do about this. And Sildren will take Jix, and we'll go up. We're
I
at
don't
the
let
fall.
you take. I
All
will
right.
follow you with Jix.
All right. And then I guess I'll do some healing on Mr. Jix.
All right, go ahead and do some healing, and then you can also make a medicine roll for putting some salves and the tongue of wolf, I believe, was the active ingredient, to see if you can minimize some of the swelling of this brand across poor Jix.
Okay. And that's
minimize swelling on anything.
for me. Medicine is nature, so it'll be
Like the opposite of the blue pill.
So 24 is the
Solid
roll.
roll.
24 with the medicine roll?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, Jix, it feels half as bad now, but there's definitely a big obvious mark there. But it's not just burning to the touch as bad as it was.
Has Jix? What does this mark look like?
It is a mark. It is about, I would say, grapefruitish size, and it's kind of a circle. And inside it, that circle, half of it has a little exploding star, or like a little sun with obvious triangular sun rays, and the other half is a hammer symbol.
And that is burned.
That is on Jix's chest. Yes.
Forevermore.
All right.
You want me to just make this black that out a little bit for you?
I don't know. Jix has the wherewithal at the moment to even
Gets
care
out
about
another
it.
series of brands.
I mean, while it's fresh, we might as well just,
I could make it a unicorn. I could like.
It's a brand of Jix humping the symbol that's on his chest.
There you go.
Yes.
Idrisyl, by the way, I don't know if it's important to you or not because it is getting sundown, but you did have a date in about an hour at Peg's Tavern.
I'm gonna go put on my dress. Idrisyl, yeah, he'll go into the. Is it a bathroom? The hole in the wall. He'll go freshen up as
Okay.
best he can.
All right, you freshen up, you wave goodbye, and you head to Peg's Tavern. And the lights are the sun is starting to set. You can see the streets are starting to clear. You get a couple looks from a wandering patrol of the Brotherhood. A pair of guys are just watching you. They don't say anything, but they just kind of look at you to let you know that hey, curfew's coming up. You head to the tavern where you see Sir Brenros is being walked out the door of the tavern by Peg as Peg is closing up. And Peg says, always good to see you, Brenros.
Oh, and thank you for giving me some information of the Smiths in town. It's been a little tricky. I've got a lot of repair work and so much walking to do.
Yes.
By the way, you did say that you had heard some walking around out here. Had you seen any of my companions, my fellows? They seem to have wandered off without me.
No need to go looking for me, Brenros. I'm right here, you old sleaze.
Oh, well, good evening, Peg, and it's good to see you. Why are you alone?
I'm not going to be alone for too much longer, mate. I've got a engagement with Venali, so I'm going to go off with her.
See.
Aye, and
He smells of Dapper Dan, by the way.
It's the best one.
well, if you're looking for everyone, they're over at the Fall Feather. You better get there quick. I'm going to check my non-existent watch and tell you that curfew is almost here.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. and Brenros will start marching double time away towards the other location.
You head away. Peg locks the door and waves to you, Idrisyl, and you are stuck outside the tavern as it is closed for curfew. What's your plan?
Like I said, good luck.
I am going to head over to, I guess, the entrance of the mine.
The entrance of the mine is on the other side of town. You want to head there?
Oh, joy. Is Peg outside the door still?
Oh, yeah, he's walking away down the road right now.
Oh, hey, Peg!
Yes, what is it?
And I hustle up to catch up to him. Have you seen Venali this evening by chance? I'm supposed to have an engagement with her.
No, I haven't seen her in a few days.
A few days, that's a shame. Well, she told me we kind of agreed to meet at this time, around this time. And I can't seem to find her anywhere. I'm in a bit of a rush, though. I just came from friends.
I'd be careful. If they catch you out here, they'll hit you with a fine or worse and toss you in the mine. But hey, you could meet her there.
Maybe not in the capacity that I'm looking for, however.
Well, have a good night. I better get going.
I don't want to keep you.
And he quickly moves along. What are you going to do, Idrisyl?
I am going to mute myself.
Baffled and why she would set a date after a curfew.
I didn't realize curfew was so early. Thought it was at 9. For some reason. Even when I was a young elf, it was at 9. Not having set a location for the date, and not really.
You said 7:30 at Peg's tonight.
Well, she's not meeting that arrangement, so don't know where she could have gone. As time, as the few minutes pass here, it's getting darker and darker. I'm starting to feel a little bit uneasier about the whole thing. The thing with Namarel didn't go too well. So he's just going to start walking back towards the Fall Feather.
Okay.
His head increasingly sagging,
All right. You head back to the Fall Feather Inn, and 20 minutes later at Peg's Tavern, Venali walks by and she looks into the alleyways. She looks across the road. She gets harassed by a patrol of the brothers, but she shows, who she is as a guard in the mine, and they walk off, and she waits for a little bit, and then she kind of walks away with her head held low and walks back to her place. Back at the Fall Feather Inn.
Really are an asshole.
The entire group is together, and you've heard the news about Jix, and you guys are all buttoned up at the inn for now.
I'm like 2 tables away, just outing.
So it's at the Low House. And we know what happened there last time. Lava.
What's at the Low House?
The wine. Were you not listening to anything I said in the past 10 minutes?
No.
There's
my best
a
friend is got tortured and almost killed tonight.
No, I'm fine. I'm right here.
Yes, they took my axe. I'm not.
Here. Xander reaches behind him and grabs the hammer from Brother Erlen and says, "You can use this."
That's not a good idea.
Buddy. That's a great you little devil, you.
You still
Wait,
have
is that a good idea or a bad idea? I'm getting mixed signals from the group.
That is something we need to get rid of.
No. I'm gonna get rid of it by putting it through Father Strell's face.
As much trouble as we had with Brother Arid, I can't imagine tangling with their leader.
He's not a leader. He's just some bozo, some piece of shit.
It's funny you said bozo and then you said piece of shit, and those seem very different for me.
Nope, they both describe him perfectly. Dead is also going to describe him very soon.
Tom, in the political situation here, any of the names getting tossed around, would Brenros know them as being significant in politics, or?
Okay, so first of all, it's Game Master Tom. Secondly, it's
Game Master.
No, I'm just kidding. Make a
And it's Sir Brenros.
Your Honor.
make a society roll, please.
Yes.
Society roll. Learning how to do this. There we go. That is a 19 for that.
19. And what names are you trying to trigger information off of that they're mentioning?
Specifically, and the only one I think I know of is Iggy had just mentioned Father Strel.
Father Strel. With a 19, you have heard of his name before in your travels to the west coast, to the big city of Mirskan. You had heard his name there before as a righteous guy who wasn't getting much respect and stirring up more trouble than people really wanted to bother with. But you just remember that name in Mirskan, so it's odd now for you to hear his name here in Tabonry, far away from that city.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
He's also, just because I'm looking at my notes, he's not the one that we were told was in charge either. That would be Brother Uvail.
Game Master Tom quickly changes notes.
What do you want to do?
Well, if it's going to be at the Low House, I assume it's probably got lava in it all over again, so I was thinking we could talk to Peg and figure out what exactly happening at the Low House so that we can go get the wine.
It would be good to know who's taken up residence there.
Right, and then
Is
get the wine.
Brotherhood there.
I don't know.
Sounds like a fine place for a thief. Speaking of, where's Jix?
Brenros,
He's sizzling over there.
Is Jix down there, or is he resting? I think
That's
he's
up
resting.
to you. That's up
Jix
to you.
is resting, I think.
All right.
he got tortured earlier, which is why I'm so angry. Why I want this Father Strel's face. I'm gonna take his face off.
Father Strel did this.
Yes.
Is Jix going to be fine? He looks over at Sildren.
He'll recover.
Oh.
With that whole 9 hit points of life recovery.
Those are the best 9 hit points you've ever freaking had.
Just joking.
You got some potions too, buddy.
I know, I'm looking for him right now.
Does Brenros have the ability to incorporate his companions into the Order of the Vigilant as
To knight us? You want to see if you can knight us?
Not so much knight, but
Deputize?
yeah,
Squire us?
deputize. Bring you into the fold, but under the banner of the Order instead.
I think he just said knight us. You want to make us knights?
He's mumbling to himself, and Xander's hearing every word.
There's a way that I could indoctrinate you.
Indoctrinate, yes.
Get you in on a starter kit early on, and
I am not my queen. I cannot knight you.
it's a great idea, but there is no way to do that, as your order is a very prestigious group, and that as much as you like these guys,
What are we, chopped liver?
Okay. Apparently you fall in that category.
yeah, it's like, oh, you haven't spent like a decade going through all the training and stuff that I have, so yeah, let's just defenders of the realms get enough for these guys.
All right, I know where they stand.
Okay.
Jix has spent the last hour using his healer's tools to heal him for 26 hit points.
Okay.
Self-stacking.
26.
Yeah.
'Cause you did the double thing. Yeah.
For 1 hour, so he's
Gotcha.
back to full health.
All right.
So you didn't need any more than my
I needed
9?
your 9. I needed your 9.
You're good.
You guys want to rest for the night, or you got plans for the night? You want me to
Jix
fast
comes
forward?
running downstairs.
He looks fine to me.
Hey guys!
Loud
Jixie,
too.
You
Look
should be
at
in
this!
bed.
And
You
he
should be in bed. It's a bloody mess.
No, I'm good now. I did a little this, a little that, a little homebrew, little alchemist reagents, little wolf dung.
It says I love Jex.
It doesn't say Jex.
Works both ways.
Jix, the wounds are healed. You're fully ready to go. However, you still are scarred.
I'm scarred. Yeah. So Jix is like,
Hey, look at this! They gave me a memento.
Indeed, they did.
That is
So pimply.
brotherhood.
Yeah, it's just like, so what I see here is I see a hammer and I see a crown, so that means I'm the king of the hammerheads.
They branded you.
Yeah, king of the hammerheads.
That looks like it really hurts.
Now I just gotta find more hammerheads so I can be king.
Where I'm from, brandings are more of a criminal and insulting nature.
Well, that's not where I'm from.
You're from Mirskan.
Yeah?
It's over there.
Well,
Well, I just gotta go find these hammerhead guys. Where are they? Anyone know? I'm their king now.
He's got a hammer.
I do.
and Jix like hands his hand forward to for Iggy to kiss his ring finger.
Oh.
Are you going to put your mouth on his goblin finger?
Yep, I'll go ahead.
Smell my finger, Sir
Terrible.
Ixter.
No,
That extra
not
large
smelling
knuckle.
him. I'll kiss him, but I'm not smelling him.
Couple of
I'm
random
sure you'll
hairs.
taste it.
Gross little bastard.
There's some cheese smell, and he didn't even go to the cheese shop today.
this place you had mentioned of the Low House, and thank you for coming, Jix. This would be a fine place for me to find the individual that I was looking for earlier.
What's the Low House?
You had,
Oh, that's right. You don't know.
you had just mentioned it, and
The way of the monologue.
Venros braces the table.
He gets reactive strike ready to go.
It's the scene from the Memorex commercial where it's just
Sildren will just put his hand over Xander's mouth and it's where the slavers previously were.
What slavers?
The slavers that we came to town after we came to town that we had to deal with.
You're doing such a bad job. Can I please talk?
No, hand is still over there. It's slavers. Doesn't matter. We eliminated them. Now we're not sure who lives there anymore.
So, wait, there were slavers here in Tabonry?
You forgot the part about the lava.
And
Lava?
Yeah. don't know. It's
This
there's
all
no.
happened after you left us, Jixie.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm intrigued.
Sir Brenros, you were there.
I
You saved my
Don't
bacon twice.
I don't have a good memory.
Xander got eaten by a
Hello,
An
I'm
ogre.
Brenros.
troll.
I forgot I can't even make you a knight.
Getting eaten is the worst, by the way. It's the worst. I mean, you got branded, so maybe it's not that bad.
So you say you wanted to talk to Peg about the low house, or do you want to just go there in the morning? We all need a rest, except for the fucking goblin for some reason.
It's so
Got
high.
the shit kicked out of him all night, and he's
He's
totally
very
fine.
energetic for his kind.
I can give you a little something too there, Brenros.
Oh no. I'm fine. Service to the queen sustains me.
He takes a little white vial with dust in it labeled "Service of the Queen" and lays out a rail.
Let's bump in the queen.
+2 to everything as far as he's concerned.
My shield is huge. Brenros tries to regain his composure. I will retire upstairs.
He says, cleaning his nose as he heads up. All right.
All right. I
Brenros
suppose I could sleep too.
We all need to recharge a little. It's been a long, tough day.
You
Recharge for
guys
the night.
rest for the night. Yes.
As we're headed upstairs, I want to ask Xander about the hammer.
What's this thing do? Is it just a hammer? Just
No.
crush faces, crush heads?
I don't actually know, but if you remember when Brother Edwin was using it on us, it can zap lightning, it can blast fire, it can do all sorts of feat things, and I know it's magical.
Can you take a look at it for me?
I'll spend some time with it, yeah.
Okay.
All right, you only need about 10 minutes, Xander. So you go up to your room, you bring Iggy inside, and you spend some time putting your hands over the hammer, casting small little spells. You're just going, oh, yeah. And then
Cool.
turning it around, and yeah, no. And after like 5 minutes, ooh, yeah, this is magical. And then you start some more, and you start some more. And finally, after 10 minutes, I just made a Arcana roll. I'm looking for your modifier. There it is. +7 is what I have for your Arcana. On top of that, you are able to unlock the secrets of this hammer. You have determined that this is a magical hammer that is set up by the Brotherhood that has not been attuned to the brother you defeated and took it from. If it had been, he was in this kind of overseeing the mine situation, but also he was in this punishment position. So he wasn't quite in full brother mode, if that makes any sense. So he hadn't fully attuned this weapon to him, which would have kept anyone from getting any value out of it. Since he didn't, you are able to unlock said weapon and have identified this as a +1 maul of striking. So this is a maul. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to throw it over to Iggy. Going to Iggy's character, going to inventory, bringing in maul, changing it to +1 maul of striking. I'm going to change its numbers. And where is the bonus? All right, so it gives you a +1 to hit, and it does on hit 2d12 points of damage.
Woo!
In addition, it is a maul, which means it has a bonus concept. Like your different weapons have slightly, different features to them. The maul is essentially a big hammerish thing, and it's a big two-handed weapon. Looking for it now. Why can't I find it? Maul. It is 2 hands, 2 bulk, and it has the shove ability. So you tried to shove, I think, last adventure. With the shove ability on this weapon, you do not have to have a free hand with it.
Oh, nice.
You can have it with both hands, and you're essentially whacking them and forcing them back with this giant hammer. And in addition, you get to add the weapon's +1 bonus to that shove roll.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Am I not proficient? I should be proficient with it, right?
You are absolutely. You're proficient in every weapon. So if we edit that weapon, where is it? There it is. And go here. It's under the attacks, I believe. Actions. There it is. And we go edit somewhere in here. Yeah, there's a way to mark you proficient. I'm trying to find out where it is. Maul, it's that one. There it is, proficient.
And then can you, sorry to be a pain, but can you change that damage to 2d12?
Sure can. Here's another 2d12. There you go.
Awesome.
You now have a stylishly fiendish weapon. And Xander, you can make an arcane roll to see if you can alter the magic slightly enough that it won't give off any trace of the Brotherhood magic that was once upon it.
I haven't done this very much before. I'm very excited to try. Watch out, there might be sparks.
That's all right.
Natural 20!
Natural
Sparks.
20?
For a 27!
Xander, you can not only remove all magic trace that this was ever part of the Brotherhood, you can also slightly change its design so that it doesn't even look like anything they have ever crafted or purchased for their group.
Nice.
Is there anything you want to do about the look of it?
Do you have a special color you like, or anything that's more Iggy style? That's your
Pink.
preference?
Father Strell's blood.
I don't know what that looks like. Let's try this.
Okay.
And Iggy adds dwarven style. Xander will add dwarven style carvings and brandings inside the hammer so that it has Ignal Heavybringer in a different style of fashion around the head and the hilt and shaft.
Nice. Cool. You now have a completely incognito Brotherhood weapon that is now 100% yours and ready to go.
That's what it looks like. if you
Like
look
that.
there.
Nice
Nice.
job.
What does it look like? What am I looking
Look
at?
in
Look at
the
your chat.
chat on Fantasy Grounds.
On chat. Fantasy ground. Oh, the little text that's on there. I got you. Cool.
Nice.
All right. Anything else you guys want to do this night? Otherwise, we will fast forward to the morning.
There,
Too late. It's morning. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
There was also the belts, right? There's a sash that we also gathered.
Yes. The sash has no magic to it. The belt does. And I will make a roll, and I have to do this roll as a secret because I use different skills, and the skill might let you know what it is. Like if I make an occult roll versus a religion roll, it might give you details about what, that kind of a thing.
Sure.
But it doesn't matter because I keep rolling fantastic for you again. You have identified this belt as something pretty cute. It totally has a name, and that name is a what's called a lifting belt. Lifting belt. This is an item that's worn as a belt, and what it does is it gives you a permanent +1 bonus to athletics checks. In addition, it increases the amount you can carry by 1 bulk.
Oh.
And finally, this is a little house rule for anyone who's a big Pathfinder fan. Once per day, you can spend 2 actions to interact with the belt, and you can lift an object of up to 8 bulk as though it were completely weightless.
Oh.
And it lasts for just 1 turn, so you can make 1 big heave of something pretty heavy.
Wow! Sir Brenros is gonna love this!
Keep it down in there.
Xander, thank you very much. I'll see you in the morning.
Good night!
All right. It is hours later. It is quiet. It is dark. And Sildren, as happens often, there's a light little pecking around your face, which normally means you didn't open up the window slightly enough for Yathane to take care of what Yathane needs to do. However, this pecking is a little more aggressive, and there's no loud squawking happening at all as you're kind of stirring from your slumber.
Jix, get off of me.
It is not Chicks, I assure you.
Is Jix in the same room?
No.
Oh God, no. Okay. I will kind of listen for a moment and I guess open my eyes.
All right, you listen, you hear absolutely nothing, which is, again, a little odd because Yathane normally gets a few grumbles from Sir Brenros to keep it down, and she's not making any sound, but still just pecking at your cheek. You open your eyes, and in the darkness, of the room, you can see there is a small table in this small room that you have that's just beyond the foot of your bed. And kind of squatting on that table in the darkness is the shadow of Idrisyl, kind of perched there like Batman, ready to leap at bad guys off of a roof or something. But it's just Idrisyl there. You can see the bow and just in your room, and he should not be there. You blink your eyes again, and in the darkness you realize it is not Idrisyl. It is a different person, someone you've never seen before, in your room with a bow looking right at you.
First off, do I know where Yathane is?
Yathane is on your pillow, still lightly pecking at your cheek to wake you up.
Gotcha. Is the bow drawn and arrow pointed at me?
The bow has an arrow knocked, and it is pointed at the foot of your bed, but it isn't fully raised at you.
And is it a humanoid figure, obviously?
Yes.
Obviously paying attention to me.
Yes.
I would suspect. Okay. So what can I do for you, friend?
He looks a little surprised, didn't know you were awake. Your voice also sounds a little weird, and Yathane gets a little startled by it and starts to flutter a little bit, and you cannot hear Yathane's flutter. There's something odd with the sound. And the figure speaks, and he says, "Hello, hello. Easy, don't make any sudden moves, and we won't have any problems tonight. How does that sound?"
No problem. Sounds fantastic. What can I do for you?
I'm glad to hear that. What you can do for me specifically is I believe that you have something that doesn't belong to you. And I'm going to extend you the courtesy that it's in your possession without your full knowledge. I'm giving you the opportunity to return it because you were a foolish, impetuous person and didn't know that it didn't belong to you.
You're gonna have to give me more information, because if I don't know what it is and don't know it didn't belong to me, then as far as I know, everything that I have is mine.
Really though?
I truly hope we don't have much trouble, he says, as he just slightly pulls the arrow, a little bit of tension on the arrow. You have taken a book, and I need to get that book back. I have been told to leave you dead, but again, as perhaps a professional courtesy, I would rather not go that route and say that you got away. But I do need that book back.
Do I have a book?
You start thinking, you're like scratching your head. What book did I take? And he sees, even in the darkness, that look. He says, you took a book of finances and numbers from a wealthy man here in town several months ago. He needs that back.
There's the face. Oh!
Doesn't ring a bell.
Make a deception roll. Make a deception roll.
Oh no. Not my forte.
It is a 4.
A total of 4?
Uh-huh.
Did I hear 4D? 4D? No, 4. He chuckles and brings the bow up pointed at you and says, look, if we have to do this way, you and I are going to hurt each other. You will wind up dead, and then I'm going to have to run like crazy before your friends break through that door. You don't want that, and I don't want that. So please, just hand it over, and I'm going to go on my way.
That sounds like you're a reasonable person. And I believe I am a reasonable person. And I think I can give you that book.
He hops off of the small little desk and still has the bow pointed at you and says, "Let's take it easy, friend. Nice slow movements. I don't want to see any crazy, weird tricks. I don't know if you have any surprises or weapons on you."
All right, Rogue Cat. Do I even have this book on me? I think I do, don't I? I probably would.
Yeah, you do.
And this is the ledger from the financial ledger that we took when we got the Dark Akron bow. I forget the guy's name, yeah?
Yeah, you were in Tabonry about 4 months ago. You crashed a party with Sir Brenros of a noble, and you took some stuff, and just to be a dick, you took his whole financial ledger as well. And you just saw him again this afternoon.
Right. Okay.
It's all coming together.
So yeah, I will go and retrieve the book and toss it on the table for him.
All right. He kind of stops and doesn't quite know how to grab the book without being killed by you, and holds the knocked arrow and the bow in one hand and loosens the pressure on the drawstring with the other. And then
I kind of like juke him a little bit.
He panics and he drops his arrow and it falls out and clatters on the ground, and he kind of just stops and looks at you.
Oh, well, if that's gonna happen, then I'm gonna have to go ahead and attack him.
All right. He goes first and can only manage an "oh crap" as you attack. What kind of attack is happening?
Well, I meant, yeah, I'm gonna cast Ray of Frost.
Go for it.
Let me see what that actually is there. Ray of Frost. You blast a nice ray. Spell attack roll. All right. I rolled a 5, so I'm gonna actually go ahead and use a hero point right now.
The choices.
And try that again. 19 to hit.
19. You blast Frost. He reaches down to pick up his arrow, and it just goes over him and hits the wall, and he looks behind him. You still have one action left.
I will grab my sword wherever it happens to be.
All right. It's not too far away from your bedside. You're able to reach down and pick it up. Maybe it's leaning on the wall next to your bed. You've got it in your hand.
And Yafune's right there, yeah?
Yes.
She will attack as well.
All right. He defends with "oh crap" as the bird comes flying right at him.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, and 15.
15. The bird, he swats it away. "Oh, come on!" And he swats away. For his action, he marks you with Hunt Prey as his first action.
Mm-hmm.
And then he is able to get an arrow in there and fires with a 16 to hit.
Nope.
And then fires again with a total of 20 to hit.
That will be a hit. Are you taking the negative from being within 30 feet?
If
he gets that,
check. He has a composite longbow. It has the volley penalty. You're correct. He has an 18 to hit.
Yay! No, he misses.
That's a miss. All right. Let me double check his Hunt Prey bonus stretching checks as well. He gets bonus damage with his one.
Is this a fairly
no
noisy
archers.
combat?
What's that?
Is this a fairly noisy combat?
It is not, and you get the sense, Sildren, that there is some magical effect happening around this room to deaden sounds strongly. It's a new round. You can go, Sildren.
Okay, so first things first. I have my sword in hand. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to cast Dispel Magic on the silence,
Oh, okay. Make an arcane roll.
All right.
Or nature, whichever one you want.
Can I keep that roll?
Yeah, keep the roll. Keep the roll.
Total of 20.
With a
'cause
total
nature.
of 20, that is not a great roll for disrupting, but he is not great at magic either, and the sound deadening spell is shattered, and a bunch of you will say can hear from neighboring rooms. You can just hear this guy, some voice you haven't heard before from one of your rooms going, oh crap, and this bird screeching noise, and you have some more action, Sildren.
Yeah, so as my final action for the round, I will attack with my sword. And Yathane will also attack. For my attack, it's 24 to hit.
Oh, he got hit.
All right, very good. And that is 4 damage.
Okay,
And Yathane is attacking.
go for it.
And that's 23 to hit.
Oh God!
That's a hit.
And the real muscle comes in with 10 damage.
14 damage. He gets cut and bleeding, but he is absolutely still in this fight. I need everyone else to make perception rolls, with Iggy having a -2 hungover penalty.
Oh,
What are we making? Perception?
Perception rolls.
Ooh.
Iggy, you do hear the sound of scuffling and battle. Idrisyl, you also hear it. No one else does this round.
And then
Idrisyl just wakes up and stumbles out of his little cot that he's made and grabs his bow,
Keep
knowingly.
it down out there.
Of course.
Sorry,
Curmudgeon. Do I have a lawn for you to get off of?
Sorry, it must be Jax. I'm gonna go check. And I grab my bow and I head out the door.
All right, Idrisyl, you open up a door and it's Xander, and he's sleeping and making some weird sleeping noises. You close that door, you open up another door, and in there, Jix is making some strange sleeping noises. And you close the door, you open it, and you see Sildren fighting for his life, making some strange fighting noises.
Ching, 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 ching.
Racist noises. And that is your turn, Idrisyl. And who else was awoken by this?
Ignal is
Ignal.
racing in there with his big ass hammer.
You come barging in as well, and the 2 newcomers have just entered this small room. And I think it is his turn. He is going to shoot one more time with that penalty with a 14 to hit. This is not his night. He shoots and misses. He runs to the window that is open, and he is going to spend the last action to make an acrobatics roll.
I would like to try and tackle him if I can.
You're going to have to wait. He has one more action.
Okay.
And he is out the window, but hanging, like he's got a knee still inside, and he's got his fingers, this bow over his shoulder, and his fingers on the windowsill. He's outside, though, looking for a way to drop down to the bottom floor. And Sildren, you can go.
I want to snatch him and bring him inside.
Oh, all right. The manly Sildren. You lean in. You have to.
Night clothes.
You got to give him a little hug. He's got the Ebenezer Scrooge robe and little hat with the tassel at the end. You lean out the window. You do like this football tackle, if you will, and throw yourself outside and start pulling him in. Make an athletics versus athletics roll.
21.
16. You pull him back in, and he's just going, no. And you pull him back in, you flop him in. You are done. That took your whole turn. Idrisyl, what do you got?
Idrisyl sees all the commotion, kind of gets out of the way for Iggy, thinking he's going to come in and swing them all, but sees that Sildren is on the case and has already out the window and just pulls the guy in. So he has his bow fully drawn at its maximum capacity, staring down at this dude, like point blank range, pretty much.
All right, he is kind of pinned and rolled over on his back, and he, even though he's on his back, he like gets his hands out and says, all right, everybody, just take it easy. Iggy, would you like to take it easy?
Yeah. Igno wants to squeeze his way in there and just rest that big hammer right on his chest.
All right. No one's really hurt except me.
Right? What did you think was going to happen when you came here exactly?
I thought I was going to walk away with that book, and I've got an idea. Hear me out. What if you take the hammer off of me, you get off of my chest kneeling, the guy with the bow kind of just relaxes, and I take that book down the stairs, and we all call it a good night.
Why would that be better than us just ending you?
I can think of a couple reasons, but this way, kind of everybody wins. How does that sound?
Maybe you tell your slaver friend who wants this back that it was gone, it was destroyed, it's not around anymore, and maybe we let you live.
That would really hurt my reputation, you know.
And exactly who are you and who are you with?
I'm kind of an independent. I kind of go by my own spirit. I live my own kind of way of life. I go from town to town and just kind of find myself.
What your name was, fucko.
My name is Capper. Capital C-A something.
Well, why don't you guys grab Brenros real quick, because I think Capper here might be able to help with what his issues are too.
We don't need anyone else involved.
Iggy's got this, and Idrisyl goes to wake everybody else up.
You might be able to help us, and if you do, then I'll give you the book and you can leave. But you have to help us.
Do you know that there's a sleepwalking goblin that just walked past the doorway?
Yeah, he'll be fine, I'm sure.
All right, Sir Brenros, you were brought into this this chaotic mess in the children's room.
What any image of me would represent in full armor would now represent me in like a plaid onesie. I'm far less impressive.
With little shields all over it.
Little shields all over it. Picture of his queen.
Back flap is still open.
He's got a little like knight action figure with him, just tucked in his arms.
Sir Brenros, this is our friend Capper here.
Oh.
And I think he might run in certain circles that somebody you're after does as well. So if you have any questions in regards to those chalices you're missing, this is the man that's going to be able to help you, I am sure, because it's very much in his best interest. As Yathane sort of kind of like hopped around, and she keeps like kind of like pecking towards the guy's eye, but just not quite getting there. But she's just like very much hovering over his eyes, and kind of like keeps like quirking her head to the side, and like she just basically wants to have one of them.
You should take it, Yathane. Get it.
you and eyes. So what are you? You are a thief, assassin.
I'm more of a free spirit. I kind of go and travel and find myself and who I really want to be.
You say a lot of words without saying anything.
I agree. You say a lot of words. I only want a couple words, and one of them is a name. And considering the circles you must travel in, I would say the name Nakam would come to your ears at some point.
I know of a Nakan. Would that be the one you're searching for?
That would be.
Yeah, I know him. I absolutely know him.
And where would this one be?
I saw him at Peg's Tavern maybe a day or two ago. He's not a particularly handsome fellow, has a striking nose. He was asking me about some deals. Some acquaintances of ours were saying I should help him out, and I just don't have that kind of connection. So looks like we're all square. I'll just take that book.
I don't need to know where he was. I need to know where he is or is going to be. I know where he was. I've been following him, and he recounts this long and lengthy adventure style.
And you say I use a lot of words.
Yeah, so just like, can we take this out of my room, please?
He just goes to bed and puts the covers over. Past the doorway goes Jix again.
This Nakan, he has chalices that do not belong to him, and I am seeking to acquire them and bring him to justice. You could help me with that.
That's right. Yeah, he was saying something about some cups. Yeah, but I don't like anything that deals with justice. So let's just leave me out of any of that word. So I could bring him. How's that?
How about you give us as much information? Like, you basically have to understand what we're looking for at this point. He has something that doesn't belong to him.
But you have something that doesn't belong to you.
That's not really.
What do you have? Are you a thief too? Give me my sword. I'm dispensing justice tonight.
Everything I have does belong to me, but I'm going to give this man something that he thinks belongs to somebody else that he's employed by. So
I'm confused.
Either way.
And I want my pudding.
I'm going to bed now.
We need information about where Nakan is, who he's trying to sell those cups to, and
cups, chalices.
His words, just using his words.
Ins in a chalice.
And we have business in a couple hours, so we need that information now. Otherwise, you're no use to us. So make your decision quickly.
And he also notices that Idrisyl's been holding this bowstring back a long time.
I went to go.
Arms starting to quiver a bit.
I went to go get Brenros, and then I came back and just.
and Yathane will actually peck at him now, and we'll actually peck him. Kind of hard.
All right. You can do an attack damage, just damage right off the bat, or half the damage, or just a little damage.
Just 1 point of damage.
1 point. All right. Make an intimidation roll +2, please.
Oh, let me actually do intimidation. I'm sorry. Well, it's not going to matter because it's the same. 9.
With a 9. I don't know where he's at, but if you can give me some time, I'm sure we can work something out. If you're giving me the book, that's good of you, and I owe you.
Book.
The book comes with the information, so
if I get information for you, I get the book, and everything's good.
That's generally how books work. You read the book, you get the information.
Yeah. We'll let you go. When you come back with information, then I'll give you the book. And once it's proved reliable.
All right, we got a deal. We got a deal, friend. Now, if you can just get off of me, that would be great.
Who's sitting on him?
Sildren is, and there's a hammer, big maul hammered shaft on his chest.
And there's an arrow in his eyeball.
What's with my eyes?
Igna will take the hammer off.
All right.
I'll get up and show him to the window.
Okay. I'll just go out the door if you don't mind. I'll just show myself.
Nope. Iggy's still standing in the doorway, and
okay.
It's like you're going out the window.
And he walks past Idrisyl and he says, I don't like you is what I would normally say, but I'm trying to turn a new leaf. And I think there are some social challenges that you and I can overcome in the future.
I'm just doing that
And he
thing.
walks on by.
I'm doing that mafia thing from The Office. Like, nobody move! Nobody. And as he backs away, I just get back.
You're ducking behind the bed.
Yeah. I get behind
And
it.
he goes,
Brenros.
he goes out the window and he's hanging off there and he gets onto the sill. He's carefully backing out. Someone closes the windowsill right on his, come on! And he drops down to the street and he scurries off into the night, hoping not to be caught by a patrol of the Brotherhood.
Brenros closes the window, exhausted a bit from this exchange. Finally, a clue. A lead.
Hopefully it'll
Someplace to go.
yield some results.
I'm sorry you had to sacrifice your book. It seemed important to you. But I appreciate it.
Not sacrificed yet, but if the information is helpful to you, it's worth it.
Yeah, it's real important to you.
I will sacrifice my very valuable book to help you.
I keep it with me everywhere I go.
Brenros
I've
puts
had it
a
for months now.
reassuring palm onto his chest. Thank you. And now sleep and good dreams. And he goes to his room.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
But he doesn't go in his pajamas. When he gets into bed, he actually puts on his full armor. He's excited.
All right, it is the next morning. Sun arrives on the town of Tabonry. The curfew is lifted. You guys have a new morning. Jix, you wake up touching your chest with the scar on it, and you guys are up and about. Xander, you have this cool belt wrapped around your waist.
Like 4 times.
Just lifting things unnecessarily. And what would you guys like to do today?
Jix is gonna get started on his morning routine of mixing reagents and creating some
Okay.
potions.
I could
Brenros
go
has-
for
oh,
a
like-
spicy oats. Anyone want spicy oats from Pegs?
Yeah, I'll take some spicy oats, please. That's just a perfect ingredient for one of my things I'm making. Thank you.
Oh, you're going to Pegs? Let me join you. He goes expectingly.
All right.
Yeah, Soldern will come to Pegs.
Iggy? All right,
I'll
Iggy.
go to Pegs.
And Brenros?
Brenros has every intention of trying to find a smith, but he will start his adventure and by going to Pegs first and then breaking off. from
Okay.
there.
And you're looking for a blacksmith after that. And you have information from it too. Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Okay, you guys go to Pegs. Pegs is open. You get some of his spicy oatmeal. You get some drinks. You kind of get started and refreshed from the morning. There's a couple people. There's a little bit of activity in the morning. People coming and going. Iggy's having a little something just to get his spirits going. Yeah.
Breakfast beers.
And you guys, anything in particular you're looking for Pegs, or just getting refreshed?
Yes. Xander wants to. I know there's no signboard up top, but Xander wants to check anyway, and then sidle up to Peg and go, "Tell me about Low House."
Okay. And you do this when you walk up? Is that an all gnomes walk?
That's a determined walk. He's had a
You'll
plan.
never find me Lucky Charms.
I know exactly what I'm doing.
All right. You walk up to Pegs and he says, you're talking about the Low House?
Last
You
time
took-
we took it all down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
but I'm telling you.
No, I'm being your dad. No,
All the bartenders are the same.
That's great. Oh my goodness.
There's-
Yeah, you took. God damn! Just shut up for a second, no, and I'll tell you.
I'm trying to give you some information.
Sweet, so lean. I cannot get a word in. All right. I'm sorry. What are we talking about? Yes, the Low House. Don't you dare open your mouth.
Peg's Tavern, take 2.
What's impressive is this is happening over the intranets with like microsecond delays.
Excuse me. He says, yeah, you guys took that down a couple of months ago. What do you possibly want to know about it now?
Well, I just found out that there was some very expensive Zexan wine delivered there a couple of days ago, and I want it. I just figured that there may be someone that you know of that could have been able to purchase something so rare and special. You know what Zexan wine is.
Yeah, okay, so if you're going anywhere to get some Zexan wine, you got to score me some of that, too.
I promise I will try my hardest to score some wine for you, but
I'll
do you
take
have
that
any
promise.
idea who could possibly buy it around here?
There's a shop that sells it that might buy some.
Yeah, we talked to them.
But there's nothing going on at the Low House. That place has been closed down. Half of it burnt down.
That was my doing.
Oh. Well
Okay.
done.
Thank you.
From the door comes an early morning patron, a busybody, slightly pudgy local townsman comes in, and he looks around and looks a little like looking left, looking right, looks around, checks out some of the other few patrons, and sees you guys up in your normal perch on the table just above the bar over in the balcony. And he walks over with a bit of a quick stride, walks up some stairs, and approaches your table. And he kind of
You look suspicious, friend.
he straightens himself up and says, I wouldn't say suspicious. My name is Torrance, and I think I'm looking for you all, and I'm glad I could finally find you. You're the defenders, right? The defenders of Edlin Home.
Defenders of the realm.
Oh,
What he said.
of
And
course.
king of the hammerheads.
I see.
I'm Lord of the Zilgoth.
And you, sir, with the almost empty drink in your hand, you are Ignal Heavy, the big dwarf warrior, if I have that right. Yes.
Who's asking?
My name is Torrance, and
You just said that. That is correct.
yes,
How can I help you?
I can see you're at it a little
Matches the
early.
notes.
I've been told your name some time ago. I heard you all were in town several months ago, causing all sorts of chaos and doing good things for the town and dangerous things for the town. Sound about right?
Well, I
Then
wouldn't
maybe
call
I-
it chaos, and I wouldn't say we did anything dangerous for the town, but yeah, we were here a few months ago, drove some people out, broke some heads.
Well, I might disagree with you a little bit. I think maybe you guys do get a little wild, and that's kind of why I'm here. I had the privilege of catching view of you guys several months ago, tackling some rather frightening undead that came in through one of our town gates.
Yeah.
Does that ring a bell?
Yep. When the alarm went up, we called it. We went and helped.
When helped, yeah, I happened to see that, smashing some skeletons about, and I remember my wife was all startled and like, oh my god, look at these crazy guys, and you in particular just causing all sorts of trouble. But you weren't quite focused that night, was my recollection. If I had anything to say about it, I might say that you were drinking again, and yet everyone keeps saying you're some sort of big hero dwarf, hero of the town.
What do you want?
He's my hero.
Yeah, you might want to, number one, change your attitude. Number two, get to your point because you have caught us in a bad mood.
I don't care about your mood, and I don't care about my tone. What I care about is having to hold my son Edmund in my arms when he died at the hands of these skeletons that you failed to kill because you were screwing around, swinging your little weapon around while me and my wife and my son were defenseless against these and missing attack after attack after attack and laughing it up. And they killed my son. They killed my wife.
Jix backs away and says, I wasn't part of, I took a little time off. I wasn't there. I think this is compensation for you guys.
And then what do? You leave town for several months, leave this chaos and destruction in your wake.
We took care of that problem. We killed all the skeletons. I'm sorry I couldn't kill them all before your family got slaughtered. Maybe if you would have done something, you could have saved your family and instead of just sitting there.
How dare you?
Like a coward. Now get the fuck out of here.
I am not some warrior who claims to be this big hero. You are, not me. And everyone sings your praises when you're drunk off your ass, unable to do your job and thinking you're some big hero. My family died. My family is gone. You're the one out playing, thinking this is some sort of game.
Playing? I think you remember this wrong, fella. I slaughtered many a skeleton that day.
Jix hears this guy talk about his family dying, and then kind of walks back up towards the conversation.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sildren's gonna kind of step up and be like, Torrance, look, we're sorry about your family.
Are you?
Yeah, we are.
Because I don't think you gave them a moment's thought until I just mentioned it now.
I believe
you guys ran off and went into that old temple right after the fight, and you just disappeared while I'm left holding my family, bleeding in my arms.
We were still battling against the creatures that were invading Tabonry.
Well, thank God we have you here to save us and protect us, these great defenders of the realm. And he grabs one of the half bottles of tankards and splashes it on you, Iggy.
I'm going to pull the hammer out and I'm going to shove him.
Jix gets in between. Igster, hold on, bud. And he turns to this Torrance.
Torrance, my name is Jix. I don't have a family either. In fact, I never knew my family. My mom, my dad. I had a sister, but she's gone now too. It's just me. And, there came a day when I had to decide if I was gonna blame the world, if I was gonna just blame all my problems on everyone else, or if I was gonna become a defender. And I became a defender of Edmund Home, and then the realm, and now I'm king of the Hammerheads. And I think now's a turning point for you, Torrance. I can't bring your family back, but maybe there's something from this day forward that can be done to save other people's families too.
I don't care about other people's families. I care about the one I lost. I care about Callie's and Edmund, which you clearly did not if you were able to actually do what everyone says you do. I hope you get what's coming to you, Iggy. I hope that you
you're about to get what's coming to you.
And you die, and you have to hold your friends dying in your arms before they...
to kind of escort him out of...
You don't know anything about me, buddy.
I know all I need to. You are a drunk. You are useless.
The tavern.
I'm going to grab him by the ear.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to walk him down the stairs.
He is swatting and pushing, but he can't do anything.
And I'm going to get him out the door, and I'm going to say,
don't come back And if you ever see me again, you better cross the street.
He spits on you and runs off.
Coward.
Well, that was lovely. Let's go about our business now.
Let's go save this town.
Again?
Yeah.
Xander is kind of sitting down a little bit. Kind of really is evaluating. Are we really heroes? Are we
Jix.
letting people just die?
Jix, you were there. We were overrun. We couldn't kill them fast enough.
I don't remember much from before the whole timey twisty warpy thing with the ghost guy.
You weren't there, Jix. It was well, you were gone.
I'm sorry, Igster.
We did what we could for them.
I know you did your best.
I thought I apologized to him about his dead family, but we were still overrun after I killed all those skeletons.
Idrisyl puts a hand on Iggy's shoulder and is just like, listen, mate, some people will just never understand that we can't save everybody. Let's get another round before we start the day.
Fuck that guy.
All right, the group heads out from Peg's Tavern onto the morning streets of the town of Tabonry. And what would you like to do this morning?
I guess we're going to the Low House, yeah?
To the Low House!
Burn down the rest
March
of it.
away.
Iggy, is that where you left your axe? Where's your axe? Where's Blanche?
Blanche is with those guys that did a number on you. Don't think I haven't forgotten.
You mean back at the temple?
Yep,
Well, how'd you leave it there?
they took it.
They took it.
Just like they took you.
Well, I'm the king of the hammerheads now. We need to go get Blanche.
We'll do that later.
He's got a fancy new hammer. I think he'll be all right for now.
It's not. That wasn't the last time we're gonna run into that brotherhood. I'll get it back.
Okay, you guys head to the Low House. You've been here before. 4 months ago, while in town, you went to the Low House and found some slaves and slavers there and caused quite a ruckus and burned down quite a bit of property there and rescued a bunch of people. But that seems like a lifetime ago, aka 4 or 5 episodes ago. And you are heading back there in the north part of town. As you are walking there down the alleyways to snake towards the place called the Low House, which is essentially some big warehouse type area, compound. You're making your way through some narrow alleys to get there. You're watching the alleys closely for anyone watching, and you don't see anyone like you did last time. There are no thieves coming in the alley out of the alley to question you or interrogate you or keep you away. And you bend a turn and head down another corner of an alley where you killed a few people that were getting in your way last time you were here months ago, but no one comes out. You see there is a young lady who is sweeping off her back little porch with a back door to her home, and she sees you and nods, but it's just got this different quiet vibe of the neighborhood than it did before.
Seems much too quiet.
It's certainly taken a turn from the way it was before.
Brotherhood certainly seem to have cleaned up. There's nary anyone here who would cause problems. Maybe this isn't the place. Brenros is just poking his head around corners and trying to look at the windows.
Yeah, Idrisyl kind of looks up and to see where the sun is, and it's just like, does the curfew lift at different times in different areas? What's going on?
You see the Low House is up ahead. Cutting through the town of Tabonry is a wide river, one where you could fit several barges side by side through. The Low House is a 3-story structure that is essentially a bottom storage area that they had used for cells before, a upper section for kitchen dormitory type stuff, and then a really high section above that which had bedrooms. And there all of that stuff is blackened. It's been gutted. There was massive fire. Lava, as Xander had mentioned, was a factor in this place beforehand, and there are collapsed walls. The structure is there. It still looks sturdy. There is a bridge with no railings that spans across the river. So this structure is right on the riverbank. There's a bridge that goes out maybe 40, 50, 60 feet. And then there's another structure that makes up the compound, another 2-story structure over there. That one looks perfectly intact. And that's what you see right now as you are approaching. What used to be the front door is now just beams and fallen walls and burnt black stuff everywhere.
It wouldn't make sense that it would just be left around, but if there was a delivery here, maybe it's inside?
Well, the place looks about how we left it.
If memory serves, we came in the back entrance through the lower half.
Let's try the front this time.
Agreed.
And we'll walk right through the front hole, I suppose.
All right.
A trap!
You're crunching on burnt debris, burnt logs, burnt collapsed ceiling sections.
Wine delivery.
The floor is a little the floor here is actually solid. It's solid stone. There are stairs that lead up to the upper floor, which is again just a framework of beams. There's the bridge, there's the water. You can look in here and you can see there's nothing here but just burnt out lower floor. And then you can also see the stone stairs that descend down into the lower basement area where they had been storing slaves before. But you don't see anyone, and you don't see anything of value, and you certainly don't see any bottles of wine with ribbons on them.
I don't remember this place. Not at all.
You were never here, buddy.
That would make sense on why you don't remember it.
But I have a good memory.
Xander starts detecting magic. Just see what he can find.
Xander detects magic around this lower floor, and you detect nothing at all.
There's nothing here. There's supposed to be something here.
I want to go downstairs.
Okay.
Iggy trops on down to the basement area. You can see down there are the metal bars that they had set up as cells for the slaves. Those are wide open during the big rescue that you did. There's a sliding door that leads out to a dock to the actual river that's down below. That has been burnt down, so it's just open. You can see the water slowly making its way across the wide river, but you see nothing here. That's not true. You do see, as you kick over some debris, some burnt wood and chunks, you can see a few old skeletons and burnt up bodies from long ago that are still left behind.
So what was this place?
That was a slaver compound that we destroyed.
What are all these skeletons? Are these the slaves? Did you burn the slaves?
Anyway, so there's
We didn't burn them.
over here.
The slavers burned them. We couldn't save everybody. It seems to be a
That's a disturbing trend of ours.
trend of today.
Maybe we're really not good defenders.
Xander, we're not the baddies.
I know, guys. Sometimes people make excuses. Oh, lava was falling from the ceiling, but trust me, it happened this time.
Lava?
Yeah, on
From the
the
ceiling?
Yup.
Mhm.
Like I said, we can't save everyone, but we tried. We tried. I mean, kind of.
We did what we could.
There is nothing here.
So do you
We could go
suppose-
upstairs, go across to the other building.
Is there an upstairs anymore?
There is.
There's an upstairs framework, like some sort of constructing child set, where you connect the pieces. There is a bridge that's intact for sure. That's what you can see as you head back up to the ground floor.
Do you suppose Mister could have been lying to us?
Well, there's the other building across the river.
I haven't seen the other building. Would that also be called low house? Or is that high house?
It's mid house.
Mid house?
Sea level house.
Yeah, let's go see what's on the other side of that bridge.
Okay. And Iggy, Sildren, then followed by the rest of the group, you guys climb up some burnt wooden steps to the upper floor here, some of which give way, and you reach the top floor, which again is mostly burnt away. You don't trust the floor itself, but there are some stronger beams that are still keeping this whole framework up. Iggy, you start to grab on and start to shuffle across, walking this beam. As he does, the whole building just slightly shifts in motion, and everyone stops moving, but then it goes right back into place.
Ooh.
And you guys start walking. You're heading towards the bridge. Did I hear that correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I need everyone to make a acrobatics kind of balancing roll, and Sildren, you get a bonus, I believe, for that.
Yeah, because of my bracelet.
I think you have like steady balance.
Oh yeah.
And a bracelet that I could have used.
You have a belt. Yeah, you keep your balance easily. Adverse conditions. When you roll a success using the balance action, you get a critical success.
I'm gonna burn a hero point.
Speaking of critical success, Brenros successfully makes the
Natural
roll with
20.
critical success.
Ooh.
Whoa,
Br-
theater.
And Xander? Wow, 2 natural 20s. No one else matters. Iggy, you can take that hero point back. Sir Brenros and Xander, who are normally not a pair in this group, they're kind of divergent in personalities and size and viewpoints on the world, but here they're in sync and they're like, okay, over here, yeah, watch out for that spot there. Let's take this beam, no, this one. And you guys are able to take the lead and find a very stable path that's fairly easy to navigate, and the rest of you fall in trail and are able to very easily get across to this upper floor, to the bridge, which is stone. It's got some stone supports and it crosses the slow moving river. You now are on stable footing and are walking across this bridge. You can hear a wind that's just gently blowing through. You can see the breeze in the water beneath you. You see the river heads out, cuts through town. There's some distance away, there's the bridge that you were crossing just the other day after you defeated the brother. And then you also see the river finally spills out into Rivern Lake, where the half-elf bargemen called toadies have their little floating barge mini town out there floating. You can just barely see it. And you continue to walk across and you head into the second structure of this compound that's connected on the other side of the river to this bridge. And you see the door is closed, and Sir Brenros, you were leading the way originally with that roll, so you put a little shoulder behind it. The door opens up, and inside it's very dark, and light is a factor only for Sir Brenros, I believe. Right?
He's natural eyes.
Yeah, everyone else has. So, Sir Brenros, you're just peering into the darkness, but you can't see much, and it definitely seems like no one is home.
I can't see and I can't hear anyone. It's very dark in there.
Let me take a look.
Sildren will pop his the light from his Aeon watch and
All right.
will illuminate the room.
A magic light appears on Sildren's wrist. Xander, as you say, I'm going to take a look. You go pushing by. You get a face full of this light as you come in. You can see inside is an open, kind of like a New York loft over a warehouse that's been converted type of a space. So it's got a place where you can live, but it also has these weird industrial beams and that kind of stuff in the way it looks a little odd. You kind of have that open space as you come in. There are some doors that you can see inside as the light is shining in, and there's also light coming in through the open door you're in. You can see there is blood that's on the ground not too far away from the door, and then everyone kind of starts to get a little concerned, making sure they have weapons ready. But then Xander reassures you as he gets down on his knees, dips his finger in it, and licks it with a smile as he identifies it as delicious Zexan wine.
I know this one. This is the Zexan wine. This is on the floor. This is bad. There's wine everywhere. This is really expensive wine. Everyone, don't move.
X just gets on his hands and knees and starts lapping.
Stop it! Stop it! Wait, stop it! Everyone, look for the bottle.
He's just lapping up like a gold piece worth of wine with every tongueful. Idrisyl kind of motions for Jix to stop with a gentle hand. As Idrisyl, you have your bow out, pointed at a blood-covered body that's not too far away from it that is covered in blood.
Jex, I don't think that's wine you're drinking. Get out of the way.
I have a pretty discerning palate, and I can tell this is the Zexan wine, yes.
Jex.
Zexan wine.
Get out of the way. Someone get the body. There's a body in there.
Ah!
Well, that was the coppery taste I was tasting.
Yeah, Sildren will go investigate this body.
You look and you see there is a thug-looking dude, similar to ones you have encountered in the Low House before, that is dead on the ground. He has make a medicine roll for me, Sildren, if you would.
Okay.
And Sir Brenros, you were also kind of in the lead. Make a perception roll. Wow, what a roll, Sildren.
Thank you.
29.
I perceive the back of my shield.
With a 10, Sir Brenros is just bouncing. He's getting out of the light and bouncing into walls.
My shield is just too big.
Sildren, you identify that this guy has been burned in several spots and has had his head caved in through blunt force trauma.
This guy has been... Xander, were you here earlier or something?
No! I was looking for the wine!
It's so dark in here.
Oh,
Should I light my torch?
How long has he been dead for?
Well, you got a really high roll. He has been dead for less than a day.
Less than a day.
Very good, Jix. Very good. Well,
Jix is like peeking over the notes that Sildren the detective is taking.
right. Anything on the body itself? Anything of value? Any clues on who he might be?
You pat it down. Before I give you an answer, you hear Iggy call out, "Over here."
Over here.
Thank you. And he's pointing down to some stairs where there is another body crumpled on the stairs with more blood covering the steps. That's what Iggy is pointing towards. Sildren's checking out the body. What do the rest of you guys want to do?
I want to check out this new body.
Okay.
Jix will go down there with Iggy.
Okay.
Jix, get away from there.
Xander will
Tell me what to do. I'm king of the hammerheads.
Say again, Xander?
My God.
Xander's gonna detect magic and see if there's anything he can find, and maybe just try to find one more bottle of wine.
Xander, you cast Detect Magic, and you do detect magic. And Xander, make a perception roll.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. It's a 10!
It's a 10. There is a half-consumed bottle of Zexan wine hidden within some sort of debris where it got knocked over there that you do not spot, nor does anyone.
Oh.
Sir Brenros is still walking into corners with his shield out, lost in the darkness.
I should have my torch out now. I really should.
And Iggy and Jix, you are kneeling over another body that's on the stairs, another bloody corpse. You can see the stairs drop down into the bottom ground floor of the second building, where you see, as you peek down, kind of does that bendy stair thing, that right turn. You can see there is a hallway that has 6 more bodies that are dead on it. And one of those bodies is a member of the Renarian Brotherhood who lies dead.
Jix is tasting all of them.
Okay. Jix, make a fortitude saving throw with your iron gut bonus, please.
That's easy. Let's see here. Fortitude. Where's fortitude? Oh, wait. Saving throw. That's on this page.
Main page.
Yep. 22.
Damn it. Jix is fine.
All right. Just so while Iggy is inspecting the body on the stairs, Idrisyl goes and sees the other 6, and is now trying to get Jix away from those bodies. But yeah, is looting and inspecting those bodies too.
Okay. Sildren, you find this thug mercenary has 2 gold upon him that he does not seem to need much anymore.
Okay.
And you also spot a interesting little covered piece of clothing underneath his jacket armor that he has, and it is a white grayish colored shape of a wolf on a badge hidden underneath.
Okay. So this one at least was a wolf, or has one of the wolves' badges.
Wolf? I don't see any signs of wolves here, buddy.
Jix cries wolf.
Someone survived this massacre.
Brenros says, still facing a wall.
Damn it! I really must get
I don't know about that, Brenros. Idrisyl kind of yells. One of them's a Renarian guard.
Anything on that body on the stairs?
Yes, on the stairs. Where's my notes? On the stairs, that guy had 6 gold upon him and has a strange charm wrapped around a necklace hanging from his neck, oddly enough.
Is that where necklaces go?
That's how that works, yes.
What's it look like?
I'm sorry, did I not describe it? It is a strange charm that is in the shape of a creature's tooth, like a shark tooth kind of shape.
To Brenros, does this area look like shelves are intact, or it's been beaten all to hell? And
Brenros, who I will call Roomba while he's still in the darkness, you see this area had some cots and some bedrolls that were set up as just a group sleeping area, not a fire pit, but just an area where they had some rations they could eat. That's what you're seeing as you're tripping over some of the stuff in the dark. And every time you see the light that Sildren has coming from his Aeon watch, Sildren just kind of walks over to another area just out of view, and you can't just come back, and it's just tauntingly close to the light. What did you want to do, Brenros?
Brenros is frustrated. He puts away his sword. I don't think he even had it out, really, and gets a torch to light up so that he can see what the hell is going on.
All right, Brenros is lighting up. He's getting a little near. It's all right. And Jix, you are seeing some bodies down on that lower area that you are tasting. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, to determine time of death
Okay.
and cause.
So
And cause.
scientific.
And blood type. And go ahead and make a medicine roll, which is crafting for you because you're an
Yeah.
alchemist.
It's an 18.
18. These guys are dead, and they have also had some blunt trauma, is what you can tell.
All right.
And it looks like a bad fight. And you can see there is a couple doorways that you peek in, but you don't see anything of value in there. Iggy's right behind. You think to protect you, but he's more just patting down these guys for loot.
Sure, these guys died of natural causes.
Look, they'll beat the shit.
Well, they were naturally caused to die by swords and hammers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The goddamn Brotherhood.
Iggy, you are able to locate 15 more gold from these bodies. And you also find a pair of potions that are kind of grayish in color.
Okay.
Are any of these Sildren's checking the bodies to make sure none of them are Reese, I believe is the wolf that we had
All right.
met before?
You are taking a close look, and you don't see anything that looks like Reese. You don't see anyone that looks like Reese, and you're heading down with them, Sildren?
Yeah.
Okay. You head down and take your light with you just as Sir Brenros is trying to get his flint to strike on the torch. You are left in darkness.
I go ahead and just put it out. I just cover it up.
Oh! My spleen.
You are able to get a torch going, and you join the rest of the group.
I was going to say, Xander's next one produces flame.
He's a torch, and we're all downstairs. Where did they go?
There
Iggy.
are bodies up here.
I'm sorry, can you put that out, please?
Yes.
Your light is blocking my light.
Iggy, you see down this hall on the bottom floor, you see what you took to be the last dead mercenary leaning up against the wall, who's, again, you're going to start patting. As you start to approach, he moves, and he has a sword that he puts into the ground and slowly rises up with a pained expression and slides his body up against the wall, dragging a trail of blood up as he slides against it. He's badly hurt, and he leans against the wall and looks at you and readies his sword and kind of drags it on the ground and kind of blocks the middle of the hallway here.
I raise my hands. Friend, I mean you no harm. You don't have to raise that sword.
In. You will not get in. I will not let you.
Not trying to get in. Who are you? My name is Igno.
You don't look like one of them, he says, kicking the brother at his feet.
I am as far away from one of them as you can imagine.
He drops to one knee, unable to stay standing, and holds himself up with his sword so he doesn't completely fall down.
Can I help you there?
Sildren will actually go ahead and just he'll extend the staff of healing, and he'll cast a heal on this guy.
All right, go ahead.
Racing in and
Yeah, just
you're like,
club him
"I
with the
got
staff.
it!" So there's the distance.
Yeah, he parries what he thinks is a blow with the staff, and instead magic healing comes his way. How much healing?
11 points.
11 points. He drops to his hands and knees. He still has his sword pressed against the ground, and he's catching his breath a little bit, and he seems a little bit better now. Who are you?
We are no enemy to the wolves. I will tell you that. And we've encountered, I believe, you and yours before, one by the name of Reese.
You know Reese? He sits on the ground and puts his back up against the wall again, trying to catch his breath.
Let me tend your wounds while we talk, and Sildren will go up and do kind of normal medicine on him as well.
All right. What do you want to say?
Sildren's just fixing him up now, so he's yielding the floor.
Okay.
What happened here? How did the Brotherhood attack? Who took the wine?
I don't know. I don't know about
Instantly regretting doing that.
And I don't know how they found us. Are you loyalists? Or are you part of Tabonry? I
We're
can't
more
make
than
you.
that. My name is Xander. We're the defenders of the realm. We're the ones that took down the Low House. And we're here to help out and bring Tabonry back to a place of order that's not something that's covered by tyranny, but freedom.
He pushes your efforts to heal him aside for a brief moment, Sildren. I've heard that name before.
I will tend you.
Stop! I deflect the tending. I've heard that name before. The Defenders. I heard you did take this out.
That's what he just said.
I'm agreeing, damn it! Leave me alone. I'm in pain.
We never intended to leave anyone behind. Nor did we intend for this place to fall under realm of some sort of maniacal people who are over religious and zealous about controlling things.
What point of order? I was not here at the time. I was preoccupied. I couldn't be of assistance. Just want to make that clear.
And
Continue.
I don't remember much.
You hear a voice from upstairs.
Hello?
It's very dark.
I keep putting my torch out.
Things have definitely gone to hell in the last few months, and I don't know if coming here was the best idea, and I don't know how they found us.
How long have you been here?
He lets Sildren tend to him and says, if anything's going to happen, it's got to be with you. You had better talk with him. And he motions down the end of the hall where he was keeping you out of.
I guess Sildren will finish tending him and...
All right. What do you guys want to do other than Sildren?
Xander will
Xander gnomes it over with his little gnome walk.
I got this.
There's a genocide that just happened. These poor people, and Xander's like, la, 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 la.
We represent.
Is that what I've been doing this whole time? Oh, damn it. No, I'm never going to live it down.
Gnome you won't.
Yeah, Xander's gonna head in that particular direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Iggy, it sounds like you're there. And Idrisyl, Jix, you're going to hang out with Sildren? What's the plan?
I still want to check the Renarian guard if I can.
Okay. Yes, you
See what he's
certainly
got.
can. You are checking him.
Another
out.
+1 weapon part of that?
That
Making a
helps
note
balance.
here.
He's got robes. He's got a book.
You're checking him out. You do not
I prefer the
find-
term looting.
You do not loot anything of interest while you're doing that. Sir Brenros, you were able to finally join the group with your torch as you come on down.
3 rounds to descend stairs. Is that
Yes.
What it is? Okay.
You were on that old man chair that goes down the rich people's stairs. Just, but you're down at the bottom of the group.
Counting the dead that are here, how many in number?
There are 6 down here on the bottom.
And how many were up top?
There's one on the stairs, yeah.
And one up above.
There are so many who died here. Where does the wine fit into all of this? just stumble across a fight? Or was this planned? I'm very confused. This does not make sense to me.
We may have answers down at the end of this hall here, as our friend has indicated.
Down at the end of the hall, Xander and Iggy go into a room, and Xander, with his little gnome movement, stumbles into a bottle of expensive wine on the floor that twirls around before coming to a rest. You reach down and carefully pick it up and see that it is in perfect condition. It is uncorked. There's a big smile on your face, and you see in this room.
We got what we came for. Let's go.
In this room is a chair with a table off to the side with a metal plate with some food on it, and sitting on that chair is another wounded man. This is a much older man with a beard, some hefty bulk to him, and he kind of looks at you confused as you come into the room. He gives kind of a sigh as he sees Iggy and Xander in the room, and again, you guys you don't look like guards in town. You don't look like his people. You're very odd looking folks.
Friend, can I help you? I have a little bit of healing knowledge. Do you need assistance?
You're here to help, or are you here to bring an end to this?
Well, we're not here to bring it into you, if that's what you mean.
That's exactly what I meant. But if
No,
you're
sir.
here to heal, I will take your help gladly, friend. To whom do I owe this pleasure? And he lowers a sword that looks really fine and cool, and motions for you slowly to approach.
My name is Ignal. This is Xander. There's a few more of us around. We are the defenders of the realm.
I've heard that name before. You've done some work keeping the town of Tabonry safe, or so I hear.
We have.
So the stories are true?
Most of them.
They are true.
And failing a medicine roll, I will give him one of my my healing potions.
Okay. You give him a healing potion, and he quaffs it, and it does not seem to have any effect on his posture and his state. He still seems to be pained and not easily able to move around on this chair. I thank you. I'm grateful for your help. We've had quite an experience here in town.
When last
What's
we were
that?
here. Oh, I'm so sorry, Iggy. You go.
Go ahead.
No, it's all fine. You go.
You're better at this.
No, I know. I talk a lot. You should talk. It's okay.
Jake steals him for 13 actually, in over 10 minutes.
Jix, you're not there yet. Hold on.
Go ahead, Xander.
Okay. When last we were here, we were helping out in Tabonry, doing as much as we could. We took down all the slavers in Low House, but when we were going through the process, we also were discovering that there was a lot of corruption inside the guard castle when everything was happening with Venali. So we wanted to go through and start helping out with everything happening there. But then we met this person named Reese, and Reese told us that he was actually a part of the Wolves, who was a part of Justice because he was against the Senate, did anything that they were doing because he didn't like the power vacuum that was happening. So he was asking for help. But we found out, are we on the wrong side of the heroes? And then we realized we weren't, because we were still being the defenders of the realm. And so we wanted to keep helping out, but then these skeletons came. We had to attack them, and that took us away. Then we had to go to Edlin Home, so that's why we didn't come back, and that's why we're here. I'm so sorry we didn't save everybody.
I like this one. He's funny.
He's a good one. He's a very good egg. What is your name, sir, if I can ask?
Make a diplomacy roll, please. And add +2 for the adorableness of Xander.
21.
Yeah!
A 21. He says, my name is Phaon. And with that, Sir Brenros comes running in like you've never seen him move before. And Brenros, you are just stunned to hear that name. And as you come in, you immediately are struck in awe seeing the man before you. And you recognize the gravitas behind this man, and you recognize him as King Phaon, the king of the kingdom of Navarre, of which you are all in, who has been long since gone for many, many, many years. And you're muted, Brenros.
He's stunned silence.
My best acting was just Is there I mean, that's definitive? I recognize this individual, or I just hear the name and just come running?
You heard the name, you come running, you've never seen him before, but you can tell nobility of the highest order when you see it.
Okay. Brenros throws his shield down, recognizing this. He doesn't have fealty to the king, but in recognizing it, offers the steepest of bows to him. You bear the name Phaon. Did I hear that correctly?
The Grey Wolf sits before you, and I see before me is a knight of the Order of the Vigilant. I am glad to see some old ally here before me today.
He quickly just kind of shoots his head around. A knee for the King of Navarre.
Ignal goes down on one knee for sure.
Xander drops and like goes into child pose, but like as really, really low, like hands up. Like I don't know how you worship Neil, but that's the way to do that.
It's about the time Sildren walks in and is like, what did I miss?
Yeah, Sojourn and Idrisyl are just like, yeah, so
like,
how much tension do you put on your bow? And anyway, what, guys?
What the hell?
They're all prostate.
Who's checking who's what?
The Grey Wolf stands before us. King of Navarre. Phaon King. Why are you here?
That's a good question, and you can make a society roll because you have knowledge about this, possible knowledge, because you're caught up in the different nobility stuff.
Society roll.
Yes.
I'm taking a hero point on this one.
What'd you roll?
A 6 total.
Okay.
4 + 2, yeah.
We'll go for
Here
this
comes the
again.
reroll.
Come on, Sir Brenros.
Slightly better, an 11.
An 11. You have no additional information I can provide at this time. You're from a different kingdom. You know your queen really well, but you can't. There's some formalities you're just not quite. You're not quite with.
I'm
Anyways,
sure it is not from my knowing, but it does beg a question. Well, why are you here?
I have been gone a long time, and I have left my kingdom, I thought, in good hands. But in my failed quest for many, many years, I've left my kingdom in poor hands, corrupt hands. And though I have put on some years, I have every intention taking my kingdom back. But there are others. He points to the foot of the brother outside in the hallway. There are others who would do everything to stop that. I had come here to Tabonry. In my quest, I have taken on an ailment, and I saw a priest Orion at the first temple of Carahel here in town, and his magic has healed me, or will, he says, over the next week. But we were attacked here in our hideout.
This is no place for a king such as you.
Where's Jix?
Jix is bumping into everyone as you come into the room.
Whoa, what's the haps going on here?
Brenros just throws up a quick hand just for a moment. King, though I do not serve you, my loyalty to my queen, I am still bound to assist in whatever way I can to you. I'm sure I speak with the other defenders of the realm who would be able to assist.
So that would be the question. There are loyalties here in my kingdom for the Senate that has taken over. They have the soldiers. They have the voting Senate, except for a few nobles who have carried on my legacy with casting their votes from time to time. You're saying your loyalty would remain true? Your queen's promise when she was just a young girl when I met her 20 years ago would still hold true to keeping up my name, the name of the Grey Wolf, the name of King Phaon? You would aid me?
By my life and my shield. In Soline's name and more.
I am honored by that and grateful for that.
I'm certain I can speak for everyone here as to the honor that is bestowed in just being in your presence. How can we serve to help you regain your prominence?
Well, first, I could use a big drink of that wine right there.
Ooh! But is there perhaps
goes so far.
fine?
Xander. Xander. Give
It's
the man the wine.
Oh!
Give the man the wine.
Yes, Your Majesty. Ooh.
He takes it and removes the cork, and Xander takes damage right there from just the cork.
Fresh seal cracks.
And he takes a big sip of the drink and says, "They do make good wine. They do make good wine."
They really do. It's very good wine.
Really, I think I'm more in the mood for water now.
He pours it out now. Let's pour one for all my lost men. His wounded man does come in and leans against the far wall, just watching the proceedings.
Can I tend to your wounds?
If you are a greater healer than Priest Orion, then I would certainly welcome that, yes.
I don't know.
There's
Really,
no one
healing's
better than
very
the Priest of Paradise.
subjective. I mean, I'll tend to his wounds, see if he has any immediate wounds that need attended to. But
all right, you go. He has no immediate wounds. He appears to be plagued by something the likes of which you do not know.
I'm sure the priest got it taken care of. It seems well on the mend.
Jix takes an interest
All right.
and wants to, I don't know, see if he can do anything for King Phaon.
Medically?
Yes.
You cannot. You do not see any wounds or damage either. It appears he is in a very weakened condition, but you do not know why.
Okay. So King Phaon, is it? I think I've heard of you before. You might have heard of me too. I'm Jix, King of the Hammerheads. We have this king thing in common. I don't know where you've been all this time, but I've been doing this and that and defending the realm. maybe we could swap stories sometime.
It's a pleasure to meet you, friend.
He is of the most honorable type of goblin that I've ever met. Two. Really.
My goal is to find allies, old friends. My goal is to continue to reach out to those who are still loyal to their king, whom have branded themselves the wolves after my name. And I have people who are expecting me outside of town. If you can help get me on my way, I would be thankful for your service.
Your Highness.
Oh, go ahead.
I need to ask because of the time we spoke with Reese. We are defenders of the realm. We want to be defenders of Navarre and certainly of you, as you are the rightful king. But I will not go down on the wrong side of history. If we are to be heroes and defenders, we were going to do it in the right way. We want to make sure that the people are free and cared for. Even when we came through Tabonry and helped here, I found out that we did not help everyone. We can't save everyone, but we can certainly help. And if we work with you and aid you, will you continue to be good to the people? Will you do what you can to make sure that all of this corruption, the brothers, and anyone else in the Senate is no longer taking care of or even demeaning the people here, but they're letting them live their lives to their best? Because if they're not, then we're defending in the wrong direction. I want to go down on the right side of history.
Look at the men behind you in that hallway. Those brave heroes who defended me. There are old men who I haven't seen for 20 years that lie dead out there. Old men I will miss. You'll also see that there are young men. Those are men who have never known me, but have known the stories of their king from their father. And their fathers have faith in me. And they pass that on to their sons. And they have all given their lives, given their time. Reese and his people who have been working behind the scenes for my arrival have sacrificed much. My plan is to remove the corruption from the Senate, take my place, absolutely remove this brotherhood from poor Tabonry, and bring back Navarre to the good, to the honor, and to the glory that we once had. And I failed my kingdom by leaving it, and I will do whatever it takes to restore this kingdom to its place once again.
With that, I pledge my service, my magic, and my blood to serve you. Xander kneels himself in the tallest kneel he's ever done before. One knee, eye contact.
I thank you. And he leans forward with a bit of a grimace and lays a hand on your shoulder. You are a brave warrior, and I'm grateful.
Sildren will follow Xander's lead for Navarre, and we'll get down on one knee and, I guess, pledge his allegiance.
All right.
For Navarre.
Now we need to concoct a way to get you out of here. You're muted, Alistair.
I am. Idrisyl just has his bow firmly, at his same height. He takes a kneel. You can't knight us, can you?
He's the king.
Well, I'm not officially. Yeah, there's some paperwork.
My hands are tied.
Let's circle back and put a pin in that for now.
We're all gonna get knighted before this is done.
King, are you well enough to travel right now?
I have
Or
no
should we
choice.
wait?
We cannot wait any longer.
Do the Brotherhood, the Renarin brothers, do they know you by sight?
I would imagine some would. They are certainly looking for me.
Sildren turns and looks at Jix. Do you have any more of those concoctions up your sleeve?
Well, depends what you're looking for.
The same you gave to
Tilbrin.
Children?
Oh, yes, the Infiltrator's brew. Let me look here.
And
while
Jix look at the
doing that,
Jix looks at the inventory tab in his.
Jix essentially turns around and starts going and starts spitting into a vial. Got it right here. Hold on.
Brenros pipes up. I noticed only one of the Brotherhood out in the hallway. Did someone escape?
The guy leaning against the wall, the young man who's gotten healed quite a bit due to Sildren, says, one got away. He was badly hurt. I couldn't give chase. It's been several hours, so I don't know if
have
he even...
much time. He interrupts completely.
Only 2 men did all of this damage?
The Brotherhoods travel in pairs, and you know how powerful they can be.
Jix,
We need to be on our way.
Brenros starts to bows to his charged king, and quickly runs upstairs to begin a lookout.
Okay. You hear Sir Brenros trip up the stairs in the darkness several times, but gets his way all the way up.
He's got his torch.
And Jix, you had something?
Yeah, Jix palms a infiltrator's brew or infiltrator's elixir and hands it to King Phaon.
And what, pray tell, is this?
Well, pray tell, this is heretofore known as Werby, as we might pray me, that this is the Infiltrator's elixir. What this can do is disguise you for about 7 to 13 minutes, an average of 10.
Or a week.
So this is some sort of invisibility magic?
No, it doesn't make you invisible. It just makes you look a little different.
It will change your appearance.
He looks at Sir Brenros.
Brenros is not there.
Damn it! He looks around for confirmation from this.
From the motley crew.
Nods.
Silver nods.
This vial is sticky.
This little goblin is a master at potions. I promise you, it will work.
He takes it, uncorks it. It smells of Gouda, but I have faith in the defenders of the realm. I will take this potion, and I will need your help getting out of town. And I have a meeting. People are expecting me out on the river. If you can get me out, then I will be able to continue my efforts to take back the kingdom of Navarre. And with that, he quaffs the potion, the infiltrator's potion, grimaces, grabs the Zexin wine, and drinks the hell out of that as a chaser.
We're not going to need the wine after this.
I don't know the drug interaction qualities of those two.
He checks his pharmacist book. Yeah.
Fire, Ruby! That's very
He
potent.
stands up and says, "Defenders, let us make our way out of this town and into history and his shape starts to change. His face starts to change. He finds strength to limp out the door, and all of you head out into the light of the town, the morning light, leaving poor Sir Brenros behind until someone remembers to bring him down from above. And then he heroically catches up, and you head out into Tabonry, hoping beyond hope that no patrols spot this incredibly valuable find that they would give everything to find and bring to what they would call justice. And we will stop there for tonight.
No.
Yes. All right, so that is it for adventure number 3. Thanks for everyone coming along. Check us out on Twitter, on Facebook. We have Patreon you can help support. And as always, check us out on YouTube and twitch.tv/ingloriousbards every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Thanks so much.
Good
Good
night.
everybody.
Wash your hands.